mudslides bring out the kid in you. But there were a few tense moments, like hugging this mud-slick ledge, trying not to think about the open pit below. The going got pretty rough at times. We were glad to have Jay and the others along.
People will get hurt. This can be a dangerous sport to engage in. But as long as you're careful and you're with people that know what they're doing and you know what you're doing, nobody should get hurt.
Don't put your whole hand in it. There you
It's
go.
a team sport, not something you want to tackle alone.
Learn how to do it correctly. Don't take off on your own with people who don't know how to do it. Get proper training in how to use the proper equipment, what to bring along. Safety tips like 3 forms of support, making sure that 2 feet and a hand are anchored before you move that 4th hand.
The biggest thing that we see are violations of simple safety rules, 3 sources of light per person, and really common sense. That's the biggest thing. The rescues that we're mostly involved with are usually ones that could have been avoided by common sense.
I guess one of the most interesting parts of spelunking lies in the history behind these caves. Indians and early settlers in Alabama used these caves for shelter. This huge room housed artifacts dating back to the Civil War.
The caves throughout Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky were primary sources of gunpowder for the Confederate Army. What they would have to do was the soldiers or the miners here would dig this dirt up and then put it in vats. Now you can see right here, this is some of the wood that's left, and it's still preserved. Now this stuff was cut in the 1860s, and it's still preserved. They had all these were vats right here. And what they would do is they would take the water and run the water down through the dirt that was in those vats, and then what would come out at the bottom is what they call the niter, or the miners called it the liquor. They took that out and they boiled it, and that made the saltpeter, which was one of the primary ingredients for gunpowder.
These limestone caves took thousands of years to form. Surface water running into the cracks and joints in the Earth's crust erodes the softer limestone, leaving the harder sandstone behind. The cave structure is always in a constant state of change, as you can see by these huge boulders called breakdown, which have fallen from the cave ceiling. The cave environment is a delicate one. That's why these guys are so protective of their world below. It takes only seconds to destroy what took nature thousands of years to create.
Formations grow somewhere no more than, they say, an inch every 100 years. And we've had people come in with sledgehammers and tear these formations up. And, people would like to have a souvenir of their trip to the cave. And if they want a souvenir, the best thing to do is bring their camera in and take a picture. Not to take out any of the formations, because I would like years from now my children to bring their children in here and have them be able to see some of the same stalactites and stalagmites that we've seen.
What an experience. I think we were all glad to see that daylight streaming into the cave opening. We were tired and muddy, and we had discovered a few muscles that we hadn't used in a while.
This was really a good idea.
But this day wasn't over by a long shot. Jay and Harold were ready to introduce us to yet another form of caving. We found that to go down in some caves, you first gotta go up. The mile trek up this steep trail left us tired and winded, but what really took our breath away was the sight before us when we reached the top. The Never Sink, a vertical pit 186 feet deep and equally wide across. The tallest buildings in downtown Birmingham would easily fit in this hole. Vertical caving is another sport altogether. The equipment is a little more specialized, and it may not be for everyone.
I can't emphasize how dangerous it can be. Once you've done it many times, it's fairly simple, but it's not for the faint of heart.
They really made it look easy. I couldn't imagine dangling on a rope 180 feet above the cave floor. But when Jay asked if I wanted to give it a try, I went for it. I knew I may never get this chance again.
There's a trick to hooking these things up. You can hook them up backwards.
Let's not do that today, won't you?
Hook them up backwards.
The key to rappelling is in this device they call a rack. The rope passing around these metal bars provides the friction. By giving slack in the rope with your other hand, you can control your descent.
Now, if I want to go down further, where's the release point? My right hand?
Your right hand.
With two experienced rappellers like Jay and Harold at my side, I felt confident, but I still felt those butterflies when we approached the edge to hook up.
If I let go with both hands right now, would I just go zipping down the hill?
No, we've got a man. Look on the bottom down there. See that man that's holding your rope? He's on the least downward pressure, and you're stopped just like that. You're not going
But I
anywhere.
don't feel like I'm keeping myself.
They say that first step off the edge is the hardest. They ain't lying.
If all goes well, I'll see you again in about 15 minutes. And Andy, you're buying dinner.
On rope!
Oh, this is pretty neat, I gotta tell you. This is pretty neat.
The fear really went away. It went away because of confidence. Not in myself, but in the professional equipment, and most importantly, the professional men, Jay and Harold, who put safety first. I felt their calmness and confidence and knew they would keep me out of trouble.
Is that bad or good?
I found out quickly that coming down was the easy part. It would be impossible for anyone to climb out of a hole like this, hand over hand. That's why rappellers came up with this device. It allows you to literally step up the rope. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can stop and rest if you want. And obviously, some can go faster than others. It looks easy, but this is not something you want to just run out and try on your own.
It is, as you can imagine from having done it, exceptionally dangerous. It's very easy to slip down here and fall and kill yourself. And this is somebody who is watching us on television do this should never attempt to go out on their own and do it. They need to get with somebody that's done it, that has the equipment, that knows how to do it.
Now I want to be turned around here.
I'm pretty sure the best sight of the day was the edge of that cave coming into view. It's an experience I'll never, ever forget.
Unbelievable.